Is Kris Bryant poised to eclipse Mike Trout as baseball's biggest star? Kris Bryant broke Mike Trout's record for second-year player salaries, a league source confirmed, with the $1.05 million deal he signed on Thursday. Now Bryant, the National League's most valuable player, may be in line to replace Trout as the proverbial face of the game. It's no fault of Trout, the reigning American League MVP who joined Barry Bonds last year as the only two players with 5 successive seasons of finishing in the top 2 of MVP voting. Trout continues to excel while playing on a mediocre team that plays second fiddle to the Dodgers in Southern California, a reality he said he doesn't think about. As for being the face of baseball since his rookie season, Trout said all he cares about is being a good role model. That's all I can do. While Trout's Angels aren't expected to contend in 2017, Bryant is playing for a defending champion in a big market that will get plenty of TV time this year on ESPN, Fox and TBS. Reporter Bill Whitaker of 60 Minutes was in camp last week for a report on the team's success, and the Cubs are blowing away everyone in spring training attendance at Sloan Park. Baseball likes to showcase winners, and until the Angels get their act together, they're doomed to obscurity, leaving Trout a big fish in a smallish pond. Trout said the Cubs are good for baseball because they're a bunch of young guys coming together, which is what the sport needs to attract millennials. Aside from their many skills, one other thing both Bryant and Trout share is a belief that the game is doing fine and no major changes are necessary. The young guys coming in are going to change the game, Trout said. I think that's what they're looking for. I know they want to speed it up a little bit, and it is a long season, but I don't see any big changes for me. I don't really pay attention to it. Bryant said real fans don't really care about shortening the game 10 minutes, while quickly adding, I don't make the rules. The game has been the same to me since I was young, he said. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's what makes our game great. It is a long game, and we play 162 games a year, and there's more strategy and stuff involved. It could be a slippery slope once you start changing things. The people you really need to ask are the fans. The die-hard fans are going to be the ones who oppose more changes. They're the ones who pay to watch us play. Tebow time. Of the more than 40 baseball scouts who went to watch Tim Tebow's workout last August, none of them were from the Cubs. They were one of the few teams that passed on being part of the dog and pony show, and it looks like the Cubs made the right call. The Mets were the lucky team that wound up signing Tebow, and even though he batted only .194 with 20 strikeouts and 62 at-bats in the Arizona Fall League, he was still given an opportunity to play this week in Grapefruit League games, going 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts in 2 games through Friday. Tebow could probably be forgiven for going toward the wrong on-deck circle before the first at-bat in his debut, which prompted AL Cy Young winner Rick Porcello to quip, I thought he was a ball boy. Tebow explained he thought you walk around, to the first base side, because you're a left-hander, adding, I found out you don't do that. Huh? If the Mets just want to sell tickets to spring games and get on the back pages of the New York tabloids, letting Tebow continue to flail away in meaningless games was the way to go. But based on his skill set, Tebow should have been confined to playing in B games on backfields with the rest of the low-level minor leaguers who lack a Heisman Trophy. After Friday's game, manager Terry Collins said Tebow would return to minor league camp. All things considered, I think he did a nice job, Collins said. Yeah, sure. Imagine an NFL team letting a failed baseball player take some snaps at quarterback in an exhibition game. You can't because it would never happen. Too bad the Mets are embarrass-proof. Comeback continues. Cubs slugger Kyle Schwarber went into the weekend hitting .125, 2 for 15, with 6 strikeouts in his comeback from torn ligaments in his ACL after his legendary return in the World Series. Hitting aside, the Cubs are more interested in how he fares in left field while wearing a brace on his left leg. A couple of Schwarber's miscues in left during the 2015 NLCS against the Mets put the onus on Schwarber to prove he can play defense. So far, he has looked fine. There was some negative stuff said about him after a couple games, and I think that was totally unfounded," manager Joe Maddon said. "I thought he played pretty well. We had him out in the outfield and he had a couple tough plays maybe that everyone encounters, a moment when they don't make the right decision, diving or something into ball getting by him. I'm confident with him." Schwarber had made only one error in left through Friday and looks comfortable playing with the brace.